big up, big up, big up. Let me see why we are not on here. Like this, maybe. Big up. What up, my friends and my family, my Reds family out there? We are live and direct with another episode of the Liverpool 12 Man Show. We're going to be getting into a couple hot topics, some updates, some wild. Something I saw on the internet that I don't know why it is a thing right now, but it's a very, very interesting depiction on a certain player that I like, actually, that I like, despite the fact that there are certain tendencies that he holds that I don't like, but still the same. We are going to get into a bunch of different updates, like I said, some things that, again, are going to be somewhat troubling. Let's be honest with you, because some of the things that we're going to talk about are upsetting to hear. But all the same, we're going to have to do our best to get through them and also make it to this big game on the weekend one more day with us. Before we get to it, and we got Big Lee, the Scouser in the house. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, good mate. I'm good. Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah. Couple of fun, very interesting takes. Obviously, we're gonna do we already did the preview yesterday for the most part, but you know, this upcoming game is a big game. Brighton away, huge game for us, despite the fact that normally it probably wouldn't have been such the case, but it is now because of our circumstances. This is where we find out who Liverpool are, because coming off a massive European night, obviously the emotion, the intensity, the statement football that they played. The question is all the same. Can you reset? Can you go from lights, noise, Champions League energy to a cold early kickoff away from home where nobody cares what you did in midweek, you know? And now we're going to be doing so without Alisson. We're going to be doing so without Mohamed Salah. We're going to be doing it with two pillars that are not going to be a part of this team for this upcoming game. And it stops being about tactics for a second. It becomes about mentality, maybe even depth of this team, and how we can call upon whatever depth that we have and still force our identity onto that pitch. Because if Liverpool are serious about making top four, I'm calling it top four. I'm not calling it top five. We must get in. I know that if we get to fifth place, I get that we would probably get a Champions League position, but I don't want top five. I want top four at least. Brighton is an important game. It's a major test. And I'll ask Lee, what are you thinking about this game coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, and I think it is a big test. Brighton have given us a good game every time we've been there and played at their ground in recent memory. So it's not easy. But there will be a bit more football played, hopefully, in the sense that Brighton do allow you to play a bit. But they are a decent team on their own pitch, and we'll have to be well up for it and have a good plan to how to get the points. I mean, the thing with Mo being out now after the last game, he started off, he kept plugging away, didn't he, in the last game, missed a pen, missed another chance, then scored, he got his assist and then scored. But now we're without him, and it gives Cozy a way back into the team, doesn't it? Because he lost place last time out, yeah. I think this time it'll probably be him with Akatike. It could be Rio. I mean, but we're running short of options now, aren't we?
I don't really like. I'm not really a big fan of Gakpo on the right side, but you're right. It could be. It very well could be, or maybe it could be a situation where you have, Cody on the left and you have Rio on the right, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to see. I don't want to see us go down this route of changing the momentum of this team with what we established in that game. simply because of the injuries. I'm hoping that we can carry it over, basically.
Yeah,
They're saying
yeah,
just about the
one,
championship.
what's the story with Alisson? I haven't really heard. What happened with him?
Okay. Well, we can get into that. We can get into the our first story of the day is a big story, and that is Liverpool are heading into Brighton without Alisson Becker. Um, this is something that you don't want to necessarily. You know what's wild about it is that, like I said this in the preview. I'm not saying don't hold me as the jinx that made this happen. But I was saying how, like, let's hope that Ali can get through training and get to this game. Um, we just put on another year of service on Alisson Becker's contract. We extended the deal, we opted for the extension on his contract for another year, but yet once again, Ali is not going to be available. He is. They're calling it risk management, basically.
Mm.
And it tells you a lot about saying that, meaning like as in he is not particularly like you know on the IR, but it would be a case where maybe playing him would force something. He's been ruled out due to a muscle injury or muscle injury risk. It's being said. We already know he missed the first leg of Galatasaray. He was rushed back. Now he pulled whatever muscle it was again. Why I'm bringing this up is because it's a pattern emerging. These recurring physical concerns with our goalkeeper. Obviously, Georgi Mamardashvili is going to have to step up massively in his absence. Without Ali, obviously, the way that we build up becomes less maybe secure. I mean, like I don't know if you're a big fan of Mamardashvili's, play, build up play, but the sweeper keeper presence drops out. The defensive line sits slightly deeper, probably because of that issue, because they're going to have to receive the ball in a more accessible position. And the distribution changes tempo, like as in we know Ali likes to get the ball out quickly. He likes to distribute it to to Mo or to going forward. Is Mamardashvili just a replacement, or is this an actual opportunity for Mamardashvili to make it his audition to become our number one keeper?
I don't really see it like that at this stage. That he could sort of like get himself. I don't know. Maybe if he had a marvelous performance and clean sheet, he'd stay in the team. If we got a clean sheet and he made several world class saves, he could keep Alisson at the side. But unless he does that, I don't think that. Well, it's a chance for him. It's an opportunity for him to play. So we'll have to be, we'll have to be ready to play without Alisson and Salah. It's disappointing, because it's just more injuries, and we haven't been like totally cursed this season. In certain positions, we have like specifically right back, but it's just more injuries in it, and it hasn't been a brilliant season for injuries. Specifically, what's happened at centre back with Leone being out, and then Gomez as well, being to all intents and purposes out for most of the season so far. But yeah, it's more injuries to deal with, and obviously, like he got a lift from the last game, Salah, and we were hoping to see him, play against Brighton. But there you go, we have to do without them.
Okay, all right. I have an audience poll. You can tell me what you guys think about this one. I'll get these polls in before, if just in case Daras comes in, or he comes in. Let me get this situated and typed up for you. tell me what is your feelings about how confident, and I'll ask you to start off the direction of the poll, I guess. How confident are you with Mamardashvili starting? Very confident, nervous, maybe concerned, big concern. What do you?
For me,
Just,
I'd
for
go.
you, Lee.
For me, I'd go for nervous because Alisson's a big player, and if we're under the cosh, I concede a few chances to them. He might not be able to save them, but yeah, I don't want to say very confident. That's too presumptuous to be very confident in him. Say nervous.
Mhm.
Definitely not a big
Yeah.
concern. It's not like he's an awful goalkeeper. He's just not as good as Alisson is all.
Mhm. I hear you're okay with him starting, Red Armchair supporter, but are you slightly nervous to see, or are you confident that he's going to do very confident, I guess? Or is it a big concern to you? I know I saw Trudon said that he is nervous. Lee just said he's nervous as well. I like Mamardashvili as a keeper, as a keeper's keeper, in the sense of a shot stopper.
Watch stopper.
I would like to see his sweeper keeper ability develop more. Like, as in, I noticed the difference between him. I noticed the difference, for instance, with Kelleher back there playing sweeper keeper, than I do seeing Mamardashvili playing sweeper keeper. And I think I would not have said this, that Kelleher was a sweeper keeper initially. By the way, I think he was more of a goalkeeper's goalkeeper for a long time, but because of the influence of Ali, because of the influence of our goalkeeper coach and coaches plural, I think that they developed him into being a sweeper keeper. I'm hoping the same can be done for Mamardashvili, but that's just my perception of it. Dom in goal, maybe that's the case. Maybe we see Dominic Szoboszlai in goal. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Cody Gakpo plays goal for us. I know that might turn some feathers as well. Real in goal doing step overs. I know. He loves a step over. Let me tell you that. He does love a step over.
Mo's injury is also a chance for Rio on the flip side, when I'm saying it's a chance for Gakpo to regain his place in the side after being dropped. It could also be Rio, couldn't it? And I would like to think he's got a good chance maybe of playing against Brighton. Because we're going to need him. So I would like to think he's got a decent chance of starting this one.
Hyler's saying, does Mamardashvili have weaknesses? For sure, but as he is Ali's replacement, he would say that his qualities are way beyond what's normal for a second choice at a club. I think that's a fair assessment. Fair assessment, I think. You spoke of Salah. It's tough. It's tough because Salah had just come off a rocky first half of a game. He progressed into a good second half of a game. He looked like he was going to be, maybe getting some of his confidence back. He had a goal and assist, but when he went like this, which means changeover, I need to come out, I need to be subbed out. That's when I was concerned, because we all know that Mohamed Salah does not ask to be subbed out of games unless it is for an injury. He went immediately down the tunnel as soon as he was subbed off. It was reported that we had intentions of playing him for the full 90 of that game, but muscle injury, and has been ruled out of this game against Brighton. Likely return after an international break, which is a good sign, meaning that it's probably not something that's a lengthy segment of time that he'll be on the injury list. But this is where narratives meet reality, in a sense, because for all the debates when Salah isn't in our lineup, there is a massive, massive change to how you have to proceed with the formation, with the presentation of where the ball is like going to be focused on going. I mean, without Salah, you ask yourself, okay, well then, who are we going to emphasize to provide goals? Who's going to emphasize to provide that width that he brings? Who's going to carry the transitional threat? Who's going to occupy defenders the way that he makes defenders have to, focus on? Like, as in he's someone that you can't allow to just kind of like be off on the sideline and in his own little island. You have to keep an eye on him. Period. And now it's a question of like, okay, well, do we keep a 4-4-2? Do we stay with this adjusted, augmented formation that we saw against Galatasaray? Or do we go back to a 4-2-3-1? It's frustrating because every time we get some momentum and rhythm in trying to say, oh, this works, this is good. Oh, Isak's scoring. Ekitike and Isak are in the lineup together. This is what I want to see. Isak gets hurt. Oh, okay, well, now we're going to have Salah moved over centrally. Now he'll play the central role, which is something I suggested a long time ago too, by the way. He'll play the central role. Salah gets injured. It's been kind of like the telling factor or the telling segment of our season. Just as we get a
What I
little
would say
bit
about that, though, is like a home game against Galatasaray and then a league game away to Brighton, who are a capable Premier League opponent. A little bit different. I'm not sure it would have worked as well. Then again, if we'd done it the same way, there's no guarantee that it would have worked as well against Brighton's formation style of play. But it doesn't matter now because we haven't got them anyway, and we've just got to. It also gives a chance of maybe Chiesa getting a few more minutes as a sub because we are desperate now. It seems that it takes desperation for him to use Chiesa for more than 5 minutes. But Rio and Gakpo, it's between them really, and to replace Salah. So it'll be interesting to see what he does do on the day, tomorrow. On the day, tomorrow, yeah. Because we haven't got that much choice, have we?
Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, that was it. I was saying we haven't really got a lot of choices tomorrow, have we? I don't think Gomez is fit to start, so it's not like we could play Frimpong on the right, is it really? You're on the right wing, he'll probably have to play right back. But it will be interesting to see what he does. Like, we have got enough players anyway. We'll be able to sort something out, like, in terms of providing a threat to them. But it'll be interesting to see what shape it takes, that threat.
I was trying to see if I can find this. You mentioned something. I wanted to make sure if I can see if I can find it. It was about it. You said something about like basically Arnie Slot, and he made a comment. I'm trying to find if I can see if I can find it real quick. He said a comment basically about it was basically about this formation, and we've noticed that this formation has resulted in good results. He's played this formation more so than not in the Champions League, but he's played this formation more so than not in to have good outcomes for when he's played it. Now we're going into this last game before the international break. And he was asked about that and asked about, like, what's his philosophy, and whether he'll maybe, transition into this new formation, or is he going to revert back to the 4-2-3-1. And he spoke about how it was more dictated, just as you just mentioned, about the team that they play, like as in this styles of play for our opposition is more determinant upon what he brings out in his attack. And it was an interesting answer. It was an interesting answer, but I thought that, like, I really did think that he's got a history of, at least my perception of history with him has been, we found something that works, and the very next game we revert back to type that didn't work. And that can be frustrating. I don't know if it's just for me or if you're in that same boat. But it seems like that's what we end up doing quite a bit. We find something that works, and then we revert back to what was not working before.
I mean, thank God we've got Hugo, like, at the moment, but our options, isn't it? I mean, we're really missing Isak now, aren't we? I'm glad that he's on the way back. I don't know what sort of shape he'll be in for the end of the season. Be nice to think he'd be fit enough for the Paris game. Even just for 10 minutes, as a late sub, if he had enough to give us that, like, as a late option against Paris, that'd be great. He's going away on international duty, isn't he? He's so he's going to be, like, training with the Sweden squad. But yeah, we are short on options now, aren't we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I don't know about that one. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hugo Eke TK. Alisson has missed 90 matches over the years for Liverpool since 2018, and it's been 17 different types of injuries, including illness. Wow, that's pretty crazy. 90 matches. It's not 90 days. 3 months is a lot of time. It wouldn't be if it was 8 years. But 90 matches is a lot of matches. That's why, I think that's probably why I remember I remember there was this piece that I think I might even brought it up. I don't know if I have it saved or not, but it had all these goalkeepers for our in our history that were, considered legends and the likes. And Kelleher wasn't a part of that part of the list. And I was saying to myself, I was like, it'd be a different story if Kelleher was just a number 2, but he has played massive, important roles for us, whether it's been through injuries during the regular season, or even cup runs that we had, FA Cup, League Cup runs. He has been our number 1 goalie. And I look at Kelleher as being a legendary keeper for us. I don't know if you do or not, but I do, at least.
He was excellent for us. And his problem was he had a goalkeeper of Alisson's magnitude in his way, and eventually made him seek a move. But I wished him well when he moved, because he was good for us. Yeah, so we've got the thing with Mamardashvili is he just needs, like, more time on the pitch, doesn't he? And I think that'll come next season. Like a lot of the times this season, there have been games where I think he would have played him, but that little bit of difference Alisson makes, he hasn't been able to take the chance. He's maybe done that with a different player, rested a different player. And that's because we've been having all season, and we haven't been in control of games late on or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like
he thinks we're going to finish behind these individual Red Devils. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I third place, like I said, is my target for the season. The first and second is not an obtainable number. I don't think that is an obtainable number for us to reach. But third place is where I'd like to see us at, if possible. I want to play. Let me see if I can play this. Let me see. I'm going to play this for you guys. This was the comment that we were just talking about. All right. This is what I was talking about. I'm going to let you guys listen to this. This is Arne Slot in his press conference. And I wanted you to hear this. Tom, make sure you can hear it too.
I don't want to come across as someone who constantly tries to tell you the same. I've had to say 1,500 times that Dominic is the best in midfield. So I'm going to reply to your question one more time. Styles make fights. So if it's an open game, then we will always be able to generate a lot of chances. And Mo will be able to generate a lot of chances, and he will be there a lot. But if the game is not open, or we hardly play because of time wasting or because of other reasons, then it's harder for our players to come as many times in the box. So you cannot compare Galatasaray to Leeds at home or Sunderland at home, because these teams have a completely different style and they are used to playing that style. But it's always my aim and every manager's aim to get the guys who can score goals for you as much as you can in promising positions. But I assume that's the aim for the other manager, to make sure Mo gets as less possible opportunities to be in and around the box and create chances. And that's what I mean with style makes fights.
So that was him referencing to Mo Salah's positioning. Now, there's been an argument made by myself, especially, that I think that Mo Salah should be made to play more centrally. I think that placing him on the wings has not been beneficial for us, because he hasn't been able to break down fullbacks and get past fullbacks the way he has in the past. And also by putting him out there on the wing, you're isolating him so much that he's not able to get off shots, really, because he's not able to get space that he needs to create to get those shots off by beating his fullback or beating the man marking him. Bringing him in centrally, though, is different, because now all of a sudden, then you've got a player in Mohamed Salah going up possibly against a if a fullback does follow him into that center role, then fine. However, providing that you have Frimpong on that right side pushing forward, that fullback's going to mark Frimpong. Therefore, you're going to have a center back more so than not probably trying to mark up Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah should still have the pace to get by a center half. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be able to physically, manhandle and be able to push off and do the things he needs to do to make the space in that a normal number 9 would do. Pick up Trudon. That's the kind of stats I want to see. Big up, big up. But I think that having him central is very key on bringing out another wrinkle to Mohamed Salah's game that needs a certain refresh. His game needs a refresh in that the same way, I hate saying the guy's name now, Pep Linders, but Pep Linders and certainly Jurgen Klopp start to push Mohamed Salah further and further out on the wing, and he's starting to touch the wing more than he was, than being a more of an inside forward and being kind of conditioned to go inside the attack. Now you have everything saying, please put Salah in a central role. And he was trying to make it a point to say that because Arne Slot was asked about Mohamed Salah's position this season, and if he has been placed too wide in this formation. And this was, I guess, Arne Slot's way of pushing back and saying, oh, it's about the opposition, it's about this, and it's about that. Again, Arne, take the L. You've seen this player play well when you've placed him in that role. One of his best games was against Frankfurt. One of his best games was against Frankfurt, and that was in a role that I just spoke of. And it's why I don't understand why we're going to possibly go back to form by going to a 4-2-3-1 and not utilizing it. Now, I understand because Salah is not going to be a part of this, but I'm just saying if we go forward, I would like to see Salah in this role rather than out on the wing suffering. If you want to play with wingers, put in more direct, more creative wingers currently in their careers, like a Rio or even a Chiesa. But if you're going to have Salah in there, I say make him central. Been saying it from the very beginning of the season, and especially when Isak got hurt, that was like the first thing I said. First thing I uttered was about bringing Salah in to hold down that second striker role because we don't have any other strikers on this team. Closest thing we have is Cody Gakpo or maybe even Chiesa, and we all know everyone's opinions on those players playing that role for us. So, you in agreement, Lee, or you don't really think I'm in agreement, or you have an opinion on it? Okay. So, let's get back into our conversation here then. Now we've been talking about Salah. Who replaces Salah for you? Obviously, Salah is a normal mainstay when it comes to our starting lineup. Who do you put in if you're Arne Slot? And then who do you put in?
Well, if Arne Slot, I think he's going to go for Gakpo, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I would like to think that Rio has a shout of being that man who replaces Mo from the start. But I think it will more than likely be Gakpo, given the evidence of the season so far. Yeah, it probably and it's a bit of luck for Cozy because he had been dropped and might well have remained dropped for this game if Mo was still fit. But yeah, I think it'll be Gakpo. But as I say, I would like Rio to be in with a real big shout of starting because he gives us something that little bit different, doesn't he? Rio.
Who would you want? Who would you want? Lee?
Who would I want to start?
Yeah, who would you
I would
want?
probably give it to Rio, yeah, just for the hell of it, yeah. Let the lad start. Let the young man start, yeah. But I think it will be Gakpo, as I said, on the evidence of the season so far.
Freaking McGuire scored. Ugh. Lurch with the goal. Ugh. I don't have that game on in the background. I'm very uninterested in watching Manchester United play this season. Yeah. Do you maybe start Frimpong in that role?
Well, we could if Gomez was fit enough to start, and I would be most receptive to them doing that if that did happen. It's just that we haven't really had anybody else at right back, and we don't have anyone else at right back, really, do we? So it takes that one choice we've got at right back away. If Joe isn't fit, from what I hear, Joe isn't fit to start anyway. He's just fit to be on the bench. I heard, which sort of nails it down. Then the Frimpong will have to start at right back. But if we had an option at right back, so we could move Frimpong forward, I think it would be a great thing to do to replace Salah. But yeah, we're short on options, aren't we? Unless he played like a fifth midfielder and only one forward, I can see how like Jones.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Do you think that we become more? Do you think we become more unpredictable with Salah not in the lineup? Do you think that maybe, with the Rio, we bring a little bit of that wild factor?
I would like us to do that. Like, out of the options we've got, that seems the best one to me, to give Rio a start. So we'd have him, TK, Verts playing a bit deeper or whatever, and and we'll have Szoboszlai in midfield as well. That is what I would like to see for Rio to start. I think it'd be the best thing all round.
Yeah, I hear you.
Chiesa, I'm just like Chiesa, and I mentioned him before, but only in as much that he's possibly likely to get a bit more sub time for this game. There's no way he'll start him, I don't think, but like he could get more sub time in this game, which is nice for the lad. Like,
yeah, I agree with that completely. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing any of those players getting some opportunities. Whether they step up and make a real contribution the way that we would like to see them do, that's the question.
I tell you what, if United win this match and we can't beat Brighton, then it looks like it's us and Chelsea for 5th place, innit? Because United are away from us, aren't they? I was grateful to Newcastle for getting that result against United. That made me day, that. But since then, we just haven't done it ourselves by getting our own points. So it's looking like that battle with Chelsea in it for 5th place. We could still finish ahead of United. And this season's been so bad, the finishing behind United is almost like, oh, I don't care. It's been that bad anyway. Like, it can barely get anywhere. So it does sting to finish behind them. But, I mean, what's important to me is, like, where we've been in recent years and where they've been. Just because they finished ahead of us, like, for one season by one place, I'm not going to shit me pants over that, like. But yeah, it is a bit embarrassing to finish behind them. Like, all it is with them is their new manager thing worked. Spurs haven't been as fortunate really, but the Carrick things work for them, hasn't it? Like,
yeah. I was just going to add that the one unique thing about this race, is that we might, and I do stress might, see us. I want to say that we'll be okay in getting the job done. Trying to chase them down. I'd like to think that, at least. It's a big question. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not.
I'm hoping that it's a half decent game of football to watch, because Brighton like to play themselves. It was a good FA Cup win over them. It was a strange game, that one, in some ways, but the FA Cup win was good over them. But they are quite a decent side, Brighton, so we have to play well. Hopefully we do that.
Yeah, hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. Certainly, I think we can too. Though I know people are hesitant to think that we can chase down United simply because I think the primary reason why is because they're stuck not having to play extra games like us. We're still involved in obviously FA Cup. Currently, we're going to be pursuing a very very difficult run in with PSG in the Champions League.
It's been very helpful to them in terms they can focus on the league, but believe me, they'd rather still be in competitions, and they definitely didn't want to not be in Europe this season. But it has helped in that respect, sure.
Right. And that's where I'm at with that. I'm looking at it as like we really want to see something happen. I'd like to see something happen positive for our pursuit of tracking down the Red Devils and putting them in their place. I truly don't want to see. I would contend to see it end up. Obviously, Arsenal's pretty much a pretty assured first place finish in the league. City would be then second. I would love to see us end up with third place. I'd like to see Villa hold on to fourth place, and you can give Chelsea fifth place, or even better, Bournemouth, or Brentford. Excuse me. I think Brentford's is trailing right now, right in the standings. I want to say they're trailing. So let's see where they're at.
I wouldn't mind seeing Seagal again, armchair. I thought that was funny. Yeah, Seagal guy.
See, I'd like to see it go Arsenal, or not like to see it go Arsenal, but if I had to concede that the first two spots are pretty much locked in. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Villa, Brentford. That's what I'd like to see it end up as at the end of the day. Brentford is only 3 points out from 3 points off the pace behind Chelsea. It's 2-2. They're fighting. Let's do this. Let's do this, people. Let's do it. Come on.
They've been there, haven't they, Bournemouth? Like all the players have been bought off them, but he's still doing a decent job in here, Ola. Let's hope they stay level anyway, and not go back behind at the very least.
Harry Maguire has just been issued off with a red card, by the way. He was the last man, and he ended up getting a professional foul. Last man got a red card. They ended up getting a penalty kick a couple minutes later, too, off the top of that. I mean, it was bad enough that it was the 78th minute, but the 81st minute is when they scored the equalizing goal. It looks like so far Bruno Fernandes gets the penalty, has got a penalty for him. And then also this game's been kind of ugly looking. I'm looking at this at the way the goals have gone in. So far we got Bruno Fernandes with a penalty. Penalty made in the 61st minute. Then you had a Christie goal which is decent to see him get a goal. But then the third goal that got Manchester United up 2-1 was an own goal, and then you have another penalty being issued. Another penalty, and it's now 2-2.
I always think Harry Maguire looks like an ogre, Lewis kid. Like a drawing of an ogre in like a book or whatever, like, so someone's like had off with his gold coins and that and got down the beanstalk and he looks angry. That's what he looks like to me, ogre.
Is he looking for his precious? Lord of the Rings? Oh man. Let me see if I can put this on so you say put it on here. Let me see if I can do that. All right. Let's see. All right. So I'm gonna put this on in the background for myself so I can watch what it is. Bruno Fernandes, yes, he is a pain in Bruno Fernandes. If Maguire is Shrek, then Bruno Fernandes is the donkey thing. Okay, I got you on that.
Oh, mate, his teeth are mad, aren't they? He's one buck-toothed guy, isn't he? Like,
yeah, he is. He is. He definitely is. There was something that was troubling. There was some news that was very, very concerning to hear, and that was because let's just pause for a second to just issue a real important condemnation, a real important show support for our not only for Ibu but for Muslim brothers in the world, because some things are bigger than football. Liverpool didn't just respond to this statement or respond to this this immense racial and racial abuse on the it was racial and also religiously backed or religiously founded. So let me see. What I was going to say is, but they condemned what had happened strongly, directly, very clearly said that there's no place for this in football. Obviously, it's racism is unacceptable. Players are human beings. We got to keep that in mind. Sometimes we lose the sense of those things when it comes to some of the players that we interact with. Social media platforms must act to try to do their best to stomp out racism in these forums. The sad thing is that despite let's see, I don't think it's on this shirt, but despite the no racism campaigns, despite the kneeling before games, despite all these efforts and the likes, this kind of stuff still keeps happening.
Why?
It's not just a Liverpool
fan. No one's told me what happened.
Basically, Ibu was racially abused. Basically, or was targeted by Galatasaray fans because it was somewhat slightly related to his interaction with the player that got injured, and we're going to talk about that player too, and give some warm concerns and
wasn't Osimhen, yeah, because when he right, I didn't know. No, this is the first I've heard. It happened in Turkey. Kevin Campbell used to play in Turkey, and the president of Besiktas called him a cannibal when he fell out with him over a contract. A cannibal.
Basically, it said Liverpool FC is appalled and disgusted by the vile and abhorrent racial abuse directed at Konaté on social media. This behavior is utterly unacceptable. It is It is dehumanizing. It's cowardly, rooted in hate. Racism has no place in football, no place in society, and no place anywhere, online or off. Our players are not targets. They are human beings. The abuse that continues to be directed at players, often hidden behind anonymous accounts, is a stain on the game and on the platforms that allow it to persist. It goes on to say about social media companies must take responsibility and act now. These platforms have the power, the technology, and the resources to prevent this abuse, yet too often they fail to do so, allowing racist hatred to spread unchecked is a choice, and it is one that continues to harm players, families, and communities across the game. We will continue to offer Konaté our full support, and we will work with the relevant authorities to identify those responsible wherever possible. But the burden cannot keep falling on players and clubs to respond after the damage has already been done.
So it's surrounding the Osimhen incident, is it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Where Osimhen airs himself.
Mhm.
I know Ibu didn't do him or do anything, did he? Like, Osimhen airs himself. Really, like, it was innocuous, that challenge. There's certainly no blame on Ibu that he'd done it on purpose. I don't know how anyone could look at that challenge, like, and then see the slow motion, look at it and say that he hurt him, that he meant to hurt him in any way. Ridiculous.
Yeah, this is relevant. In France, for instance, Ibu spoke about an incident, not related to this, but or not directly related to this, but certainly related to some of the issue problems that players of color tend to go through. And he spoke about an incident that he had at traveling back to Anfield from France. This was back in December of 2024. This is when he spoke of, and he said, "When I return to Liverpool, I buy a business class ticket to pass through more quickly. But when I arrive at Charles de Gaulle Airport, the staff doesn't even look at my ticket and send me to economy class. What message does that send? That someone like me doesn't deserve business class?" That's what Ibu was saying in his comments, and it was a major question. Like, it's a shame that this kind of stuff still exists, but Galatasaray fans are better than this, and it's not saying that all Galatasaray. I'm not trying to do a broad stroke of the brush and saying all Galatasaray fans are like this, because that would be like saying all Liverpool fans like such and such, or all Manchester United like such and such, when some incident or something occurred. That's not the case. But what is the case is what we can do about calling out this stuff, calling out and being more present and more aware and alert to call it out when it exists. So I just wanted to make a comment on that and put that out there.
Bournemouth can go on and win against 10 men.
Can they?
I hope so.
We'll see. Currently, I don't think that's going to be the case. We'll see. Let me see. Go ahead. 9 minutes, by the way, there's 9 minutes of extra time in this game. Bournemouth are pressing and pushing to get some type of result. We're in the 92nd minute currently right now of this game, at least of what I'm watching. I know most likely one of you is ahead of me, so please no spoilers if you would do us the courtesy. Please no spoilers until we get there. I wanted to speak on Champions League fallout, the cost of intensity, I guess you could say, because let's talk about this Galatasaray game, the cost of what it has happened, which is obviously we don't have Ali, we don't have Mohamed Salah, got injured in the game. It wasn't just emotional though; it was physical, and it was a heavy cost. Obviously, the Victor Osimhen fractured forearm. We have the Noah Lang severed thumb. By the way, still in
Seventh
Liverpool.
thumb.
Yeah,
Sounds severe, doesn't it? Seventh thumb.
he lost the
Sounds
tip
like he's
of his,
been in an industrial accident rather than a football match, doesn't it? Seventh thumb.
yeah, he lost the tip of his thumb in, I don't know, something at the, he sliced it on something. Well, I don't know if it was like the advertisement boards or something along those lines. I don't know, maybe like the railing. I don't know. Whatever it is, he ended up having his thumb severed at the tip. It's in uh, is in still in Liverpool awaiting surgery, or at least at the time I saw he was still awaiting surgery. The game had to stop. He had to have oxygen administered. He was visibly bloody. He was losing a little bit. The reason why they had to put oxygen is because you're losing blood and you have to keep yourself awake. Wasn't normal. But we're
You
all
know
hoping.
what? I have to confess that I thought Osimhen was faking it at the time, and Lang as well, the pair of them. I was going off my head. I thought it was just them wasting time, but it was really because of the way they were playing. They'd been doing it before them two went down. They'd been doing it all night, weren't they? Faking it and then faking injury. So that's the problem with modern football. Like, so much of it is fakery and artifice when players go down, that when they are actually hurt, you don't realise, do you?
Mm-hmm. No, you're right about that. Absolutely right about that. Also, let me see. Where are we at? 95th minute, still nothing on the board. Bournemouth is putting. Trudon saying these advertising boards are dangerous. Leone's season ended because of it. It's a good point. It's a very good point. The advertising boards, the way that the pitch is set up, quite often there's not a lot of space for you to make those kinds of bursts of acceleration to all of a sudden turn down or turn the volume down on your space. Yellow card to Sesko. Whoa, definitely a yellow card. They are fighting. 5, 6, let's see. 1 second. Sorry about that. 96 minute. 96 minute.
That'll do it to all, like, you know what I mean? At least it stopped them getting the win. Was hoping they could go on and win it, like, against 10 men. But they're doing all right, aren't they? I'm glad that happened, though, that Slabhead got sent off. That puts a spanner in the works a little bit, like.
Yeah.
Benjamin Cesspit. Good one.
Hoping we can get some type of result here. Looking at it. See if we can get one.
Oh, we hate Man U and we hate Man U. We are the Man U haters.
Is that Mason? Ooh. Manchester United pushing, trying to get something.
Yeah, that junior Troopy bloke's good, Hilo. I've been impressed with him when I've seen him. He looks like a good young player and good signing for Bournemouth, that.
um 2-2, 98th minute, by the way. 98th minute. Can Bournemouth get a result here that will massively help us out? Or can they get a result, a draw, and still help us out?
When they went back in front, United, I was worried. But thankfully, that sending off and penalty, I think it was it where they scuppered them. But yeah, when they went back in front after Bournemouth equalised, I was worried. He'd done us a favour anyway.
We're waiting here, trying to hopefully get this result.
Oh, mate, I love Eli Wallach in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is Tuchel, where he says, what you need to know about Tuchel is if you double cross Tuchel and leave him alive, you understand nothing about Tuchel.
There you go. All right, this is a big one. They have a free kick. They're trying to get the ball into the box. Bournemouth has a free kick, that is. Let's see if they can do some. They work it short. Oh, goodness, what is this crap? They finally worked it into the box. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick. One last gasp effort here, it seems like. This might be the last play of the game. For the 100th minute, 101st minute of it. Please don't play it short. Please try to put the ball in. Again, if you're ahead of me, please no spoilers for us. No spoilers. Let me just see this live if we're going to have some brilliance or not. They're lining up for a corner kick, and they've gotten the ball in, and it is a goal kick. So it looks like that's about it. And it has gone to full time. 2-2 is the end result. 10-man Manchester United sit in 5th place with 55 points. Pretty good result for them. Bournemouth, that is. Pretty good result.
Was the Tuchel in Brighton bad, the guy in a wheelchair, armchair?
Yes, Tuchel was the guy in the wheelchair. He was the guy who lost his ability to speak.
Oh, it's good when he blows up that other fella, isn't it? Like where the other fella comes, it Gus.
Yeah, he had to ring a bell to talk. So whenever he was like, "Do you want to do something?" He's like, "Ding." ding, ding.
Yeah, he was in Scarface, that actor, when he was younger. He's the one that IDs Omar as a grass, and then Omar gets chucked out the helicopter, doesn't he?
Good shout. So currently it is Villa, 51 points. Obviously, we're sitting on 49. 55 points is what Manchester United sits. If we were to win, keep this in mind. If we were to win against Brighton tomorrow, we would make that Manchester United game a must win for us. We could, in essence, take over third place with a win, because we will be, if we win against Brighton, we'll have 52 points. We'll sit at 52 points. We'll sit 3 points behind Manchester United and within reaching distance of them. And we still have a match against them at Old Toilet. It is something that we could see happen. Very much so. Very, very much so. There was something I wanted to go and show and talk about. And again, this is something that I'm not sure if I can play this or not, but let me see if I can at least there has been conversations about a certain player, and I'm going to show you who that certain player is that has been at the foremost of a lot of talk. He's not a Liverpool player. Neymar. Now, for some of us, Neymar is one of Brazil's, biggest stars that they've had in recent years. He's an exceptional player, whether it was at PSG or especially at Barcelona. We all know his incredible talents on the international playing field for Brazil. Neymar is a fantastic player, I personally think. I know some people don't like him. I know he likes to fall over and try to get calls and blah blah blah. And some think that he's, what Lee's saying, overrated, or he's this or that. Look, I don't think you've really seen Neymar play if you call him overrated. He is a fantastic player. Absolutely fantastic player. But what was unique about this was that there was a piece, and I'm not going to play the segment that was on Talk Sport, but I'll give you the ideas of what they had to say. And it was by what's his name, Lee? What's the pundit's name?
On Talk Sport.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jason Cundy.
Cundy, yes, Cundy.
Yeah.
Jason Cundy it's been weird because, why I'm bringing this up is because it seems like right now everyone wants to take pot shots at Neymar for some reason. I don't know why, but maybe it's because we're getting closer to World Cup. Maybe it's because he's one of the I would say one of the last real mega stars of the the Messi, Ronaldo-esque style mold. And what is unique about this is Cundy had a take. He had two different distinct takes that kind of made my head go like this. And the first one was that he's the most overrated player ever. And then he went as far as to say, is he better than Saka? And he said no. give him Saka over Neymar. It's a head scratcher. It's
It
an
is.
head scratcher. I get it. I get that some people don't like Neymar, don't like his antics sometimes on the pitch. Maybe they don't like the fact that, he's more of a party boy and he's taken liberties with like the dedication to the game. He's maybe rested on his laurels of his talents a little bit more than others. But why it's so wild is that Konaté went one step further. Now, you might not think that Neymar is the level of player that you could say is this or that. Maybe you do like Saka more than Neymar. That's your opinion. Fantastic. Not mine. Not even remotely close. But he went as far as to say, would Pele get ahead of Martinelli? He said Pele would not get ahead of Saka or even Martinelli in Arsenal's current squad. No. I've heard of some really, really dumb takes. But that has to take the cake. That has to take the cake.
No, he's liable to say a load of horse shit. Konaté, he does it quite a bit. I've never seen too much of him because when I've watched TalkSport, he's not on it, for any length of time. I've seen like clips of him here and there, but he's quite mouthy and loud, isn't he? And full of shit, basically. Konaté. He's a guy I barely remember as a player. It was a name I remember as like being a squad player. He was just like some guy who was like on the bench. I can't even remember him on the pitch. Most pundits you can remember them like scoring goal or whatever, defending, being in goal. But him, I just can't remember him. Just a name. Ditto with that Jamie O'Hara he was talking to. I know he played for Spurs, but was he ever on the pitch?
He said that the 3-time World Cup champion Pele could not get into the Arsenal squad.
Yeah, Pele losing out to Saka. Pele not good enough to play in the current Arsenal team, which is going to be all conquering, obviously. Yes, there's current no room for Pele. He said some of that. He tried waffling that shit about, it's different now. Like, and that was basically all he said. He didn't explain why it's different now. He was like basically trying to say you can't take Pele from that era and he'd be good in this era. But it's a stupid thing anyway, but it is hard to compare players from different eras. But Pele was boring in the catchment area where Arsenal is, mate. He'd definitely be playing for them. And he'd be in the team.
Right. And that's the thing. I think that, like, realistically, I think what happened is I think maybe TalkSport saw the kind of coverage. And again, this is why I'm bringing up the whole Neymar thing. Maybe it was because they saw the comments that Rooney made about Neymar and the amount of attention it got, and even the pushback it got by Neymar to Rooney. Some of the comments that he made back to Rooney were not pretty at all, to tell you the truth. It even went as far as Gary Neville saying something. I mean, like Wayne Rooney said on Neymar Jr., he said, I've never seen Neymar as a top player because, and went on to say why he didn't think so.
He's looking older than he, Neymar, with that beard and that, like, now. He's so used to seeing him as a young player, as a young looking guy. Like, but,
I think that people forget the fact that Neymar was a part of possibly one of the greatest front three in football history. I have, particular for our Red Arrows, I give props and I give massive shouts for them to be included in that conversation. But people forget.
It was quite funny seeing that. Anyway.
MSN was possibly one of the greatest front three ever. It's the reason why Neymar got a 200 some odd million, whatever. It's why Neymar is one of the largest transfers in the history of football.
It was a crazy front three, that, wasn't it? Like, it was something. For me, I would say with Neymar, he never fulfilled his full potential. He could have been better, maybe a bit better than he was. And I felt what held him back at times was his attitude on the pitch, his pissiness with refs and that, and being like overly concerned with, going down and holding his leg and moaning at the ref and that. If he'd cut that out a bit more and just got on with the game, I think he could have achieved more. But he was a sensational player. Like, he was like an unbelievable talent.
It's wild though, because why is there such a venomous pursuit of trying to attack Neymar all of a sudden? Because it was Gary Neville had comments about it, Rooney had comments about it, obviously now Kundi's doing it. There's others that have come out saying this stuff. I know Zlatan even came out trying to say something similar to what Rooney said, and saying that if La Liga is to line up their greatest 11, Neymar wouldn't be included. But you can't have a Premier League greatest 11 without Rooney in it, basically. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, I get that Rooney was a fantastic player. Fantastic player. But I think you're really doing a disservice to MSN, the time that he spent in Barcelona. His career in Paris wasn't terrible. It was just only the fact that it was in France and people discounted it because it's the French league. I get that. But we're also talking about a player that has, I think he's got some 90 goals in international players, something ridiculous. He's got I don't understand why people are all of a sudden trying to take these pot shots at Neymar.
With Rooney, I only really count all the goals he scored before he started wearing a wig. You can't take any man wearing a wig on a football pitch seriously. So all them goals he scored after he started wearing a wig are null and void with me. It was just the early goals he got.
Neymar had this to say. He says, I'm just trying to improve right now for the World Cup, so I don't care about what anyone is saying. That's the reason he failed as a manager. He's just doing that to get relevant again, and I can't give him the attention he wants, says Neymar. And I'll admit it, Rooney has been taking some interesting, now that he's a pundit, he has taken some very scorched earth style approaches to his punditry. You can remember, this is the same Wayne Rooney that VVD had to call out when he was standing next to him on the BS he said about VVD's done. This is Wayne Rooney. maybe people are going to push back and say, "Oh, you just have a bias because it's Wayne Rooney and he's a Red Devil, and blah blah blah." I don't understand why Rooney would go as far as to say the things that he's been saying about some players in the league lately, other than to become a called upon, like a Deeney style, a Troy Deeney style person that when you need a quote that's going to get clicks, let's call up Wayne. That's what it's becoming. Very dangerous.
I always find them conversations a bit tedious, when they say, like, look, Perry in this team now, like, a player from that era, that long ago, when you can play players from different, you can do it a bit, but, like, the way he was going about it, like, it just doesn't really work for me, that, like, let's compare this player from 60 years ago to now.
Yeah, I mean, the Pele thing is just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. But, I mean, even Cristiano Ronaldo had a take on this, by the way. I mean, this is what I mean. This is how big this story has become. Everyone is taking these shots at Wayne Rooney's comments have blossomed into all these takes from all these people saying who they prefer. Cristiano Ronaldo on Wayne Rooney versus Neymar debate said this when he, meaning Rooney, said the other guy was better than me. He had a lot of people backing him. Now in this debate, they're turning on him for saying Neymar isn't a top player. He says, I'm not surprised. But for personal reasons, I choose Neymar over Rooney. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. One of the best players in the world. Again, it pains me to say it, but it is the truth. It's absolute truth. I don't understand it. The overlaps Neymar debate on stick to football. Roy Keane, Rooney's better, Ronaldo is better, Henry is better. Gary Neville went on to say Mohamed Salah is better. Ian Wright pushed back and said Mohamed Salah is not better than Neymar. And Wayne Rooney says, I've never seen Neymar as a top player emerged. Even Jill Scott even went as far as to say Sadio Mane is better than Neymar. I don't get what is Neymar just like that low on people's opinion list?
It's open season on Neymar, isn't it? He's catching from all angles here, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, these are all some great players. Don't get it twisted. I've come out and said that Sadio, in my opinion, I think Sadio Mane is a better player than Mohamed Salah. But I mean, but at the very same time, like, geez, man, some of these people all of a sudden, they're getting thrown into Neymar's just getting strays left and right. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I just was interested in your conversations about it. Again, I know that some people aren't very high in opinion on Neymar. I just think that Neymar's brilliance is another level. I mean, his dribbling is like second to none. Like, if you ever see Neymar dribble, it is sick, absolutely sick. I got.
Yeah, he was an outrageously gifted footballer. As I said, I thought he could have made a little bit more of himself. I thought he got sidetracked with other issues than the football sometimes when he was on the pitch, like especially later in his career, like at PSG. That was a nightmare when we played him, going down all the time, and that he really done me head in. But he was a fabulous player, like, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, 1v1s. His pace has taken knocks by his knee injuries and his the seriousness of them, but his ability to get past players, his ability to dribble off the ball, his ability to score, like I definitely think that Neymar is he's one of the greats. And what's wild about it is the greats of Brazil recognize Neymar's greatness. That's the wild thing about it. It'd be one thing if you had players from Brazil saying, "Oh, yeah, maybe they've got something to say," or yeah, maybe Neymar's not as good of a player as in our ecosystem of Brazilian players. But I mean, you got Cafu, for instance, saying that Neymar is one of the best. He says he would take Neymar over Messi. Says Cafu. I get it. He's Brazilian. Of course, you're going to think he has to say that, but it's just mind blowing. Anyhow, that was my Twitter take. That was the Twitter take I saw on the internet that I had to get off my chest here and kind of comment on. Come on, I can't say this enough. People out there, if you think that Saka is a better player than Neymar, I'm sorry. Oh man, that's a funny conversation. I would say Saka, great talent, absolutely great talent. Brazil for years put their runs and their hopes on the back of Neymar, arguably the best player on their team on their international teams for a couple of the World Cups previously. No way would you say that Saka is the best player hands down on the English team. He just wouldn't say it. Just would not say it. I don't know. Lee, do you have an opinion on that real quick before we bounce off this topic? Did you want to say anything before at least we bounce?
No, I think I've said what I wanted to say on this topic. We move on.
Okay. All right. Anything else in the papers that you like? I will say this. I think I will say that I thought that one of the most interesting celebrations of the week has to be to this guy right here. It's a very interesting celebration that we got to see.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was groovy.
Yeah,
It did.
It was a very interesting one.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was something different, actually, because you've seen a lot of the celebrations before with different players, but I've not seen that one. And I liked it.
I thought it was very I get it was cheeky, but I thought it was very telling that he made that celebration after us going up 2-1 or 2-0 in that game, by the way, right? So there was still a game to play. But I mean, you could tell he was feeling himself at that moment. That's something he's practiced and wanted to definitely get it off in the game.
You know what? The way this season's gone, we're lucky that he's took to the team in the league as quickly as he did. And he's been good for us, hasn't he, this season? He's been one of the beacons of light this season, a beacon of hope in this really crap season. Because he showed that, like, he got into it from the get-go, really, didn't he? Like, I think he scored in the Charity Shield. I think he did, didn't he? Did as well, yeah, he scored in the Charity Shield. So he got into it early, Hugo, didn't he? Like, settled in easily, like, and started playing his game. But he's a bums off seats player, isn't he? Like, he gets you, like, off your seat and that, like, figuratively speaking, because, the way he can just, like, take players on, get away from players and that, control it in tight spaces, make defenders look like mugs. It's so exciting, isn't it?
There was is there anything you want to talk about before I drop a little moment of Red Zen here?
Now go on.
All right. He sounds like, I think Lee's about to make himself a peanut butter sandwich and some tea. There is the case of the ending of the fasting, basically. It's a traditional expression of joy, celebrating the completion of fasting or commemorating sacrifice, often shared with family and friends in the Muslim community. I spoke on it yesterday and wished all of our Muslim brothers and sisters Eid Mubarak, which is it's an Arabic phrase used by Muslims to convey greetings, good wishes, and congratulations during different holidays that they have. And it was there was something I saw online that was really super cool. It is hentai. It's like a, for you tend to see it in the Hindu faith as well. But do you know what I'm speaking on?
No.
No.
It's Diwali for Hindus or something. Their festivals.
It's like a it's where they write on their, it's like where they write on their hands. But let me see if I can show you what I mean. What I mean is, okay. What I mean, whoops. Sorry about that. My cousin got in the shot in the background there. Let me see what I'm trying to think of what it's called. Because they do it in the Muslim faith too. It's the henna. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of it. Henna. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No? Okay. Well, if you don't know henna, let me show you. Let me show you what it is in one of the really super.
I can see it in my mind's eye what you're talking about now. The henna things on people's hands, on the sides of their hands and that.
Shout out. This person is a mutual follower of mine on Twitter. This was what she got done. Her henna for Eid Mubarak. This is my little bit of he's walking back and forth. I'm sorry about that. It is more traditional to see it for the Hindu faith, but also those in the Muslim faith do perform the henna as well, and for the Eid Mubarak celebration. And this is what they got done, or a friend on there got done. I thought that was really, really cool. If you see that, I can make the image larger so you can see.
Very elaborate, like it's great, isn't it? Very elaborate. you know, it's small as well when you think about small some of these like wrists and hands are really, especially arms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my friend Tish. This is her what she got done to celebrate and to show her love for Liverpool, as well as, you know, symbolically making the completion of the fast. Absolutely cool. I thought I just wanted to share that. Shout out to Tish. Big up. Pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Beautiful. Yes, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Big up. Big up. All right, people. I am going to leave you with that little bit of Red Zen. We have a Reds roll call tomorrow. It's going to be hosted by Lee and also by JK. I'm going to do my best. I won't be on camera, but I will be there. I will be, my avatar and all that stuff will be there. So I'll be there chiming in as best I can, because it will be a 4:30 in the morning 4:30 in the morning appearance for me. So I am all excited about it. Let me tell you.
Excited about that in the middle of the night.
Not even. It's like, I put it this way: I will see the sunrise with this game. How about that? That's how crazy it is.
You know what? We haven't had one of these poxy half 12 kickoffs for ages, and we've got another one when we come back. You know, against Man City in the cup, the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12:45. So we get another 15 minutes that time. But I'm glad we haven't had many of these games for ages, because I hate it. For me, even at the time in Britain, that's way too early. That's morning for me, mate. We're playing in the bloody morning. I don't like it at all. I don't even like them 2 o'clock ones that much necessarily. Threes where you kick off at the earliest, like, of a weekend. That's all there is to it.
We have to tomorrow. We have to win. There's no doubt about it. You agree with that? We have to win tomorrow. Plain and simple.
We're up against it now. We're up against it because of losing 5 points out of 6. We need to win big time.
It is a long ride too, by the way. I know that it's about like a 6-hour ride or something like that. 6-7 hour ride from Liverpool to Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, it's miles away. It's about as far away as you can get in England. No, not exactly, but it is far away from Liverpool.
Okay. I heard it was like, I think it was AGT was talking about how it was like a 6-hour or 7-hour ride on the train or something like that.
Never been there myself. Never been there.
Yeah, you could ask. I'm sure Norm is going to be going to the game. Safe travels to the game, by the way, to Norm, and to whoever else is making the travels to the Amex, to root on our Reds. Long travels. I would assume that you probably travel there and then travel there and then get a hotel room so that you don't have, because that's a long day of traveling, a lot of energy spent in rooting the team on. And then whether win or lose, obviously to have to get into a car or get into a train, that must be massively taxing. So, yeah, let us, no, Norm is going back straight after the game. Well, definitely safe travels to you, Norm, and to those that are with you. Definitely. So, look, people, Lee, give your shout, give the people your Jerry Springer.
Be Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say I don't think Mark Povich. I don't think Mark Povich does
today, folks. It's been a crazy show today, folks. But don't remember. Remember, look after yourself and each other. That was his final thought, wasn't it? Look after yourself and each other. I mean, he was always good at giving a little waffle before that, wasn't he? Like, oh, I'm not as eloquent as Jerry, so yeah. But cheers, everyone. Like, yeah. Take care. Yeah, take care, Norm. Actually, take care of yourself. Like on your adventures down to Brighton, down to the south coast. Don't get kidnapped by pirates and taken off somewhere.
Okay.
Have these,
yeah, look after yourself.
No,
you don't want to get. I guess they would be land. Are they talking about land pirates? I guess you're calling it.
No, it's down on the coast, mate, and
I know.
down there several hundred years ago. Like, and there could still be a few rogue ships hanging around in the harbour.
I got you. Shiver me timbers. Stay diligent on your boat if that's the way you travel, Norm. Basically is what Lee is saying.
Have you ever heard them stories from hundreds of years ago where people would just they call it Shanghai, and you get kidnapped and like just taken off to the other side of the world, like you would just going about your business, like more than more than you'd think. Crazy.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I got some fun stuff to talk about. I've got a whole host of a whole host of episodes lined up for the international break. We're going to definitely get into some of these shows that I've been pushing back, considering we've had so many games. We've had, only, very quick turnaround before the games come back. So I've been putting in a lot of effort into that, of getting these shows lined up for us so that we have plenty of content, which we do for this break. So definitely stick with us for the break, over the international break. So I'm going to talk about a host of things, whether it's, some of the things going on with the Jamie Carragher comments, or maybe even like this new article that's coming out of Germany about Liverpool's massive influence in the Bayern Munich dressing room. Surprisingly so. Look, we'll have a conversation about a lot of different things. BVD versus Mohamed Salah. We'll have the Cody Gakpo Chronicles. We're going to talk about that. Scapegoat FC. A lot of stuff that's going to be on the docket for the international break. So definitely tune in, tell friends to do so, join the conversation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all that jazz. Hit the like and hit a comment. Send me a comment every once in a while. I really do appreciate when you guys do write and say hello. I do my best to always write back. And I guess until tomorrow, till bright and early tomorrow morning, up the Reds every time, people. Up the Reds each and every time. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care and be safe out there, my friends. Be safe. Peace.